Well, welcome back everyone to Kitchen Table TCG. We have another market update for you. This one is for Welcome to Rathe. Today is July 29th. Data visualizations by Joe. Joe, thank you so much for helping us out. Here we go. So we're going to talk a little bit about WTR. Interesting week going on in the market right now. Some interesting sales on first edition. The top end, let me share it with you. I do have a collection tracker. If you want to support the channel and content like this, you can head on over to patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG. Get you access to a collection tracker that utilizes all of this data. It also gets you access to a 10% off discount code every month for Midtown Merchant. You can actually pay for your entire Patreon by just spending $50. If you buy singles, you'll save $5 and that's it. So it's a great way to support the channel. It's a great way to support Mitch. He's a good dude. And so hopefully you'll do that. Without further ado, let's get into WTR with our fancy graphics and talk about what's happening in the market. So let's hop in, talk about sealed product for you. So right now on sealed product stuff, there's a couple of interesting sales of WTR, and WTR is all over the place. Everyone I talk to laughs about it. Like, it's just all over the place. We have let me pop up some sold listings for you here. It's just simply put all over the place. And on TCG player, on eBay, we've got a few sold listings. One was an auction that ended at 5,100. Another was a just a regular buy it now that was best offer accepted at 3,900. Then the other ones were into last week. I'm also seeing a move on Facebook quite a bit in this kind of $4,500 range. If you really know the seller, if they have a lot of experience, you might even be buying it for $5,500. It's all about like knowing where the box came from. So 4,500, I'll give it that. It's eBay is all over the place. It's just hard to price right now. So if you're buying a box, I would try to pay around $4,000, 4,200. If you're selling a box, I would be trying to get around 5,500, honestly. So just keep in mind that the market is all over the place with that. And then you've got unlimited boxes at $70 after shipping on TCG Player. If you're shopping around, there are plenty of deals for cheaper boxes of unlimited right now. All right, let's talk about the Fable. As far as the Heart of Fyendal goes, I'm not seeing any sold this week for higher than the 25,000 mark. By the way, for some reason, our sealed boxes have an extra week in here. So the sealed boxes are just 1 day ahead or 1 week ahead on the graph. We'll get it fixed up for next week. But 25,000 seems to be like it seems like I don't think you'd be able to find one for 25,000, but I don't think there's anyone who's buying one for more than 25,000 for like a raw one. I think at 20 grand, at 22, 24, you're probably paying for like a really not great condition one. And probably if you wanted a decent one, you'd have to pay like 32. But until I see like a sold listing, I don't want to come out and say that. So I'll just keep it at 2,500, which was the one that we saw sold last week. Let's see, what's this other number? Oh, that's box prices. And then as far as the Heart of Fyendal for unlimited goes, it's a little bit weird. Let's see if I pop it up here. It's a little bit weird. On eBay, you're seeing them for like 260, 300, and 400, all in the same like 2 days. And then TCG Player, so I ended up just going with the TCG Player price, which was 315. That one was a little bit more consistent. So we'll go with 315 for the price. It was also the same price as last week, which is kind of nice. So let's talk about first edition then. Let's see if it's worth it to open a box. Spoiler, it's not, but there were some interesting things sold this week. Number one being a Fyendal Spring Tunic that sold this week. There was a private sale of one that I was sent that sold for 7,100. But then there was also two that sold on eBay. One for 67.25, and then there was a 9.5 that sold for 6,800 right here. So you can see the prices are definitely swinging upwards. And we kind of bottomed out on the Tunic a couple weeks ago at $5,000. Actually, it was an eBay sold listing for $4,000, but it was condition was a question. So it actually dipped down a little bit harder. But then we've saw a couple sold listing at $5,000, and now we're kind of seeing 2 weeks in a row of some increase in growth. So we're starting to get back. I would just like to highlight, we're back. I said it at the beginning. I said it when we were down here, when we were going down, that the bottom I really believed was going to be right here at this kind of line that was before the print run numbers came out. And I think we're going to start to gradually see an incline of especially some of these cards that are more and more desirable, which, like the Tunic, is arguably the second most desirable card in Flesh and Blood, maybe third behind the Eye, but I do think that the Tunic. Anyway, let's keep moving. Mask of Momentum, nothing selling. None of these, I couldn't find sold listings anywhere. The prices on eBay for the cards are out, way not close to this. Scab Skin Leathers, there was a sold listing on Facebook for a Scab Skin Leathers. Let me pull that up for you. A Scab Skin Leathers on Facebook. I think it was a really good deal. So this guy was interested in selling. He was saying $3,000 to $4,500, and then some people talked. They said it hasn't been selling for $2,000, and then it ended up selling for $1,200. I don't have pictures to know the condition, but it definitely ended up selling for $1,200. It's interesting. Market's going. It's an interesting topic. That being said, the average is still up because of the Tunic. Your average is sitting at 2,830, and you can see the graphs are really fun to look at. It's just fun to see the whole thing. This price on the Tunic, we're getting even. It was getting close to like prices way back in January, which is crazy because I would like to remind you, we had a lot of consistency at this price point. If you look, we didn't have huge spikes or anything like that. It was a lot of consistency, and then we had rapid growth, and then we tanked, and now we're going to have some, I think, consistency and slow growth. So looking at the cold foil commons, interesting case study here. There's just not a ton being moved on the market. Again, prices, let me show you this. This is, I thought this was interesting. Let's talk about Goliath Gauntlet, right? Like Goliath Gauntlet, the cheapest right now on the market is you can get one for $600 from Canada. This is a bunch of different cards, but the prices of them are all very, very high. Whereas like Goliath Gauntlet, if you take a look at the sold on Goliath Gauntlet, it's just been a while since we've seen any sort of prices that are up there, but the sellers aren't coming down. They aren't, the current market is not accepting, the sellers are not accepting these prices in the $300 or $400 range. They're asking for more than that. And that's what tells me that we're going to start kind of, no one's putting them at the bottom. It's not like people are putting cards up and they're not getting purchased. I think if you would put a Goliath Gauntlet on the market for $375, it would probably sell pretty quick. But it's interesting to see, you can see all these spikes, and individually when you look at each card, it's really fun to look at. If we take a look at Snapdragon Scalers, it's a great study. It's just a great study for what the market did. It just went up and then it crashed, and now it's flatlined. And I think that's going to continue. So, continue or slow growth up. The peak of that was 1,000. Anyway, you can see the average prices over time here. Your average is sitting at $343.33, which is up 6.5% this week. And you can see the other cards that kind of sold there in the sold listing. So let's look at the Majestics. Spoiler alert, there were no rainbow foil Majestics that sold anywhere in the marketplace. I would like to say Enlightened Strike, I guess what I just said was kind of false. I am aware of 2 Enlightened Strikes that were purchased. I believe one of them was an 8.5, and I believe it sold for $3,800 if I'm remembering the conversation right. But an 8.5 is hard for me to value, right? Like, it's hard for me to value because, like, I think we're valuing, I don't know. You can make an argument if you want. If you're buying an Enlightened Strike rainbow foil, you need to do your own research and not believe what I say on the price anyway. So it's hard to tell exactly what the prices are. I really think if you had a 9.5 or one that looked like really good, you could get a premium over the $5,000. You can see, that card, nobody was selling those, right? Like, nobody was selling those in the middle of the tank. The regular one, there was one that sold for $295, which is up from the $250 that happened. So cool. So your average is sitting at $93.20. Let's see what else sold. There's Ancestral Empowerment for $72, an Alpha Rampage for $54, that Enlightened Strike for $280, and then the Steelblade Supremacy for $52. And then as we move over to the super rares, there was an interesting super rares sale for Singing Steelblade, which is a lot of fun to look at this one too. Like, look at the graph. It goes up and then flatlines, and then it goes up and then crashes, and then goes up and then crashes, and now it's on its way up. So Singing Steelblade did sell this week on eBay. Actually, two of them. One for $150 and one for $88.88. So interesting to see that two of them sold. So I kind of took the average and then said, the high one, 170, 125. So that's where I put it at. We'll see what happens over the next couple weeks. But you can see a lot of movement on these. Some of them are trending down. Reckless Swing being one of the bigger ones that's trending down. But a lot of movement. So. All right, let's move on to the Rainbow Foil Rares. Keep in mind that I use TCG low for the rares and the commons. So some of these are high prices. As you look, Potion of Strength, you can see things are starting to flatline. Sellers are on average, let's see, average we're up 0.7%. So sellers just really aren't doing anything. We had a little trickle down, but really nothing that's going on. Overpower Red, popular card. Drone of Brutality, still the ones that are I guess people are still buying those. It's crazy. You got some losers. Breakneck Battery, Warrior's Valor. You can kind of take a look. The most valuable cards are Potion of Strength, Drone of Brutality, Barraging Beatdown, Time Snap Potion, Energy Potion. The least valuable. So like Barraging Beatdown is one of those ones that like nobody puts them up for sale. So like I don't know, that maybe those prices are just like complete. But these prices have been $99 for weeks. So Warrior's Valor, Steelblade Shunt, you can see the first edition stuff. It's weird on the foil rares. Looking at the regular rares, you can see Sigil of Solace is a gainer, Staunch Response is a gainer. Your average is $2.59. Your Potion of Strength is the highest card. Your Warrior's Valor blue is the lowest card. You've got Drone of Brutality in there too. Lots of stuff going on. You can see the prices. These weren't really that affected by the drop in the market. Looking at the Rainbow Foil Commons then, a lot of these, so I think what's happening, this is a huge spike, right? So again, keep in mind these are TCG low, and it's hard to gauge where the prices are because I can't go and look up every single sold listing for them. If TCG Player had API to pull sold listings, that would be great. They don't. But here's the thing. I don't do API. I actually have to manually look up every card. So like I can't look up all 300 comments. It's just not able to do it. So here's the thing. Razor Reflex. So this, you can see what happens is the cards go up in value, then people list them, and then they get bought, and then more people list them and they crash. And then those all get bought and it shoots up in value and it kind of comes down and then it crashes. And then those all get bought and it shoots up in value and it crashes. Now it's shot up in value. So they are getting purchased at the values and then shooting up to the next thing. So that's kind of what's happening. But as a trend line, we're seeing an increase in sales as this line goes up. So looking at your regular commons, same thing. We have 71 cents. All right, let's take a look at the EV per box. So the true EV includes the commons, and that would be at $2,827, but no one's going to be able to buy your commons. No one's going to sell them. So if you take out the commons, you'll be at $2,620. But then if you take out the Fable, you'll be at $1,996. But if you take out the Legendaries, so this is one box, you're still including the Majestic Rainbow Foil, you'd be sitting at $1,288. And then if you want to take in line that and take out whatever you want, you can take out whatever you want. I will tell you that we have a little tool for you. If you go to ev.KitchenTableTCG.com, you can actually utilize this nice little tool. And you can include whatever cards you want, and it'll calculate out a little value for you. So like if you were to go WTR and you only want to include cards with a value of over $2, then you will see what the expected singles value is on them. So thanks, Joe, for putting this together too. And thank you to the patrons that make all this stuff possible. Can't thank you enough for all that. Let's go back to our fun. Where's our fun? What did I do? Did I get rid of? There we go. Right here. Here we go. Let's go back to our fun. So if you want to do that, if you want to take a look, feel free to utilize that. All right, let's hop into the Unlimited. and keep going with where we are. So looking at the legendaries, we already talked about the Fable. Fable's at 315. Looking at the legendaries, we're starting to see a little downward pressure on a lot of the a lot of the cards. Tunic holding true at 225. A little downwards pressure on Mask of Momentum. A little downwards pressure on Brave Forge Bracers. And a little downwards pressure on Scab's Hand. But Tectonic Plating actually moving up, as I think Classic Constructed starting to be played. You can see the trend lines for all these. Tunic just holding its value. Just look how steady a Tunic is. Like if you want to park your money at something, Tunic is just steady. It's just a steady thing. It doesn't go up, doesn't go down. You can see Mask of Momentum flirts with the highest card and then goes down. So I anticipate what will happen is it'll start going up again because it flirts with that line. But that's that. Let's look at the Majestics for Unlimited. A lot of downwards pressure. All the foil Majestics are down 6.7% to an average of $20. Your regular Majestics are up 4% for an average of $14. You're starting to see players pick up cards still. Tome of Fyendal up to $18. You can see Enlightened Strike is up a little bit this week still at $63. We were down last week to $60. We peaked at $70. You can you can start seeing some trends and some things that are happening here. You can garnish whatever you want out of it. Crippling Crush Rainbow Foil way down. Alpha Rampage Rainbow Foil way down. The regular card of Alpha, these are getting bought and then listed on TCG Player. It takes a while for things to sell. That's part of it too. But you can just take a look at all that stuff. Your averages we already talked about. Looking at the super rares, a lot of downwards pressure. Rainbow Foil at $2, which is down 8%. Non-foil at $1.24, which is down 5%. Look at the decline in the rainbow foils in the last couple weeks as more and more boxes are opened and less people want to include rainbow foils. Simply put, they want the cheapest version of the card. That is just Reckless Swing. I was looking at that and was thinking it was everything, but over here is the average prices, which is still the same thing, like a significant decline. And the other ones are, it's a decline, but like the rainbow foils are seeing significant decline compared to the non-foils as a result of players wanting the cheapest version of the card. So looking at your rares, keep in mind it's TCG low, but there is some things to garnish here. You can see like the most valuable cards and the ones that change the most. A lot of ninja cards being picked out. Look at this. Look at this. 3 of the 5 are ninja cards that are going up, suggesting that a lot of people are buying ninja. Maybe Classic Constructed Ninja, your Casu decks are going to be the ones to look out for, maybe. And then you can see the most valuable there. Your average is actually down 9% to 79 cents. This is the rainbow foils. So looking at the regular rares, again, I think you can still see things like, you can see what people are playing. So Overpower. So I think that the Warrior is still going to be played. I mean, it's interesting to see all that stuff. So let's go on to the foil commons, see if there's anything to gain from there. Razor Reflex, the most valuable foil common, still at $4. It's actually down 22%, which would be about $1. You can see Sink Below. There's a lot of value, honestly. I mean, the average is 45 cents, but just keep in mind, if you pull a Sink Below or a Razor Reflex or a Plummel, all these red cards, you're sitting with some good value in your boxes. So don't underestimate some of the rainbow foil commons. All right, let's take a look at the EV per box then. Again, if you want to include the commons, you shouldn't, but they're 100. It would be 130. But if you really want to include, just everything without the commons, you're sitting at $100.83. If you want to take out the Fable, you're sitting at $92. If you take out the Legendary and the Fable, you're sitting at $61.30. Keep in mind that does include the rares. It does include, so again, you can use this tool and take out all those things, and that helps you decide if you want to open up boxes. That again is at ev.kitchenttabletcg.com. And good stuff. It looks like it's still relatively worth it to open up boxes. The market's just weird, everyone. The singles market for Flesh and Blood, the boxes are being sold for too little of money. So for whatever reason, stores are fighting to the bottom, whereas singles have not. I mean, look at the consistency and price of the singles, the total value, like the consistency. I mean, it's going down a little bit, but like it's not tanking. I mean, if you take a look at the box, the box prices, my box prices on here are not fair. you can buy right now, you can buy a Monarch box and a WTR box for like $60 each if you buy them together. So it is what it is. I would say buy boxes, open them up. I don't know. Hope you guys have a great day. If you want access to all this data, head on over to patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG. You do get access to a collection tracker. We worked hard on it. I spent a lot of time doing all the data. It automatically updates every time I do a video, and you are supporting the channel and everything that I do here. And patrons, I appreciate you so much. And if you're not a patron, I still appreciate you watching the videos. I appreciate you interacting and being in the comment section, and it means a lot to me. So I hope you guys have a great day. Remember to be kind to the people around you, and we'll see you again in a little bit for another video. And I think even tonight I might be live streaming, and we might be playing the game a little bit. So hope you guys have a good one. Remember to be kind to the people around you.